Randy Jackson, born at St. Mary's Mercy Hospital in Gary, Indiana, is the ninth child of the iconic Jackson family and the youngest among the brothers. His parents, Joseph and Katherine Jackson, were the foundational pillars of one of the most famous musical dynasties in American history. Affectionately known as Little Randy, his early childhood was steeped in music and talent, yet he was too young to participate when the Jackson 5 was first formed in 1965. At only 3 years old, he watched from the sidelines as his older brothers took the world by storm. Though not an original member of the Jackson 5, Randy's musical journey with his family began at a young age. His first performance with the group came in 1971, during a special Christmas concert organized for blind children. From 1972 onward, Randy joined his brothers on every tour, demonstrating his skills on various instruments, especially the congas. His presence on stage grew over time, and by 1975, he was officially brought into the group when the family made the pivotal move from Motown to CBS Records. Jermaine Jackson, who chose to remain with Motown, was replaced by Randy. With the transition to CBS Records came a rebranding. The Jackson 5 became simply the Jacksons due to Motown's ownership of the original name. Randy quickly carved out his place in the band, not just as a performer, but as a creative force. At just 16 years old, he co-wrote Shake Your Body, Down to the Ground, with Michael Jackson, a track that would go on to become their most successful single under the Epic label. Randy's talents extend far beyond vocals. He is a skilled multi-instrumentalist, proficient in congas, percussion, bass, guitar, keyboards, and piano. His musical contributions weren't limited to the Jacksons' albums. He also collaborated with Michael on the groundbreaking Off the Wall album. Throughout the late 1970s and early 1980s, Randy was a vital part of major tours such as the Destiny World Tour, 1979 to 1980, the Triumph Tour, 1981, and the legendary Victory Tour, 1984. In 1985, Randy branched out further, working with Lionel Richie on the Dancing on the Ceiling album. That same year, he joined the USA for Africa initiative, performing alongside his siblings and other artists in the iconic charity single We Are the World. Though he had become an integral part of the family's musical output, Randy was notably excluded from the Jackson 5's 1997 induction into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, as only the original 5 members were honored. In 2001, Randy participated in the Jackson family's reunion concert at Madison Square Garden, celebrating Michael's 30th anniversary as a solo artist. However, he chose not to appear in the family's 2009 reality TV series The Jacksons, A Family Dynasty. That same year, following Michael Jackson's passing, Randy contributed background vocals to This Is It, a posthumous release featuring his late brother. Following the release of 2300 Jackson Street in 1989, the Jacksons ceased group activities and each member turned to individual pursuits. Randy formed his own band, Randy and the Gypsies, releasing one self-titled album before the group disbanded. In the same period, Randy co-founded Total Multimedia Incorporated with Philip Taylor Kramer, former bassist of Iron Butterfly. Their goal was to pioneer new data compression technologies for CD-ROMs, reflecting Randy's interests beyond the realm of music. In 1998, Randy launched his own record label, Modern Records. A decade later, he partnered with his sister, Janet Jackson, and her independent music label, Rhythm Nation Records. In 2018, the label formed a collaboration with Sync Music, an independent publisher and distributor. That partnership resulted in the release of Janet's single Made for Now, which Randy co-wrote, marking a significant return to music production. Randy's personal life has been marked by a series of tumultuous relationships and legal issues. In the 1980s, he was romantically involved with Bernadette Swan, the ex-wife of NFL player Lynn Swan. Their relationship ended under troubling circumstances, as Swan accused Randy of physical abuse and sought refuge with family friend Tina Turner. When Randy allegedly attempted to confront her at Turner's home, the singer reportedly fired a gun at him to protect her guest. Turner chose not to press charges to avoid negative media attention. In 1986, Randy began a long-term relationship with Alejandra Oaziaza. The couple had 2 children, born in 1989 and 1992. In a twist that captured public attention, Oziasa later married Randy's brother Jermaine, further complicating family dynamics. Meanwhile, Randy married Eliza Shaffey in August 1989. Their marriage ended in 1992, but they had one daughter together, born in 1990. Unfortunately, Randy's marriage to Shaffey became the subject of public scrutiny after he was charged with battery in 1991 for assaulting both his wife and their 7-month-old daughter. Although he pleaded no contest and was placed on probation, reports indicated he failed to comply with court-mandated domestic violence programs. A subsequent arrest in late 1991 resulted in him being sentenced to 30 days in a mental health facility and ordered into a rehabilitation program. Shaffey ultimately filed for divorce. In 1996, Randy faced significant financial troubles and filed for bankruptcy. He was ordered to relinquish shares in his record label, Modern Records. However, his failure to surrender the assets led to an arrest warrant. In 2001, he pleaded guilty to bankruptcy fraud for omitting vehicle ownership from his asset disclosures. Randy's legal entanglements extended into family court as well. In 2012, he disputed a $500,000 child support claim filed by Alejandro Oziasa, asserting that the matter had been resolved years prior. However, because he failed to appear in earlier proceedings, a default judgment had been awarded in Oziasa's favor. Randy remained a vocal figure following Michael Jackson's death in 2009. During the public memorial service held at the Staples Center, he joined his brothers as a pallbearer, each of them wearing a white glove and dark sunglasses in homage to Michael's iconic look. However, tensions soon surfaced. Randy led efforts to challenge the legitimacy of Michael's will and questioned the authority of the estate's executors, John Branca and John McClain. His stance caused friction with their mother, Katherine Jackson, who was reportedly angered by the dispute. In 2011, Randy, along with Jermaine and Janet, opposed the Michael Jackson tribute concert held during the trial of Dr. Conrad Murray. They argued the family's focus should have been on the legal proceedings rather than public performances. A year later, the same trio was involved in a controversial attempt to remove Michael's children, Prince, Paris, and Blanket, from their grandmother Catherine's care. The incident, which allegedly involved Katherine being held against her will in Arizona, drew wide media attention. A confrontation occurred at the family's Calabasas residence, and security footage captured an altercation, with Janet reportedly attempting to seize Paris's phone. Law enforcement intervened in a physical scuffle between Randy, Jermaine, and Trent Jackson, a cousin and then caretaker. The situation led the court to temporarily strip Katherine of sole custody. Custody was eventually shared between her and T.J. Jackson, Tito's son, who at the time was 34 years old. Though Randy never reached the solo stardom that Michael or Janet achieved, he did have musical output outside the Jacksons. In 1978, he released the single How Can I Be Sure / Love Song for Kids. With his band Randy and the Gypsies, he issued a self-titled album in 1989, which featured singles such as Perpetrators, Love You Honey, and the promotional track The Love We Almost Had. Despite his lower public profile compared to his famous siblings, Randy Jackson's impact on the Jackson legacy is significant. As a talented instrumentalist, songwriter, and producer, he helped shape the group's sound during its transition from Motown to Epic. His collaborations with Michael, particularly during the Off the Wall era and on stage, underscore his importance behind the scenes. While personal and legal troubles have often overshadowed his achievements, Randy Jackson's contributions to one of the most famous families in music remain an essential part of their story. In conclusion, Randall Jackson has an estimated net worth of $5 million. He accumulated this sum of money from his career and business ventures. With that, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more videos like this.